I'll always be friends with Modi. He's great.
The ice has finally been broken. After nearly 2 months of tensions in which US imposed 50% tariffs on India and accused it of funding Russia in the war with Ukraine, President Donald Trump finally took an off-ramp, praising the relationship with India and Narendra Modi. The Indian Prime Minister responded immediately, reciprocating Trump's words. So will Trump and Modi be friends again? Well, is a phone call finally on the way now? Where will they meet next? And will the secondary tariffs remain or a trade deal will be signed?
I always will. I'll always be friends with Modi. He's great. Prime Minister, he's great. I'll always be friends, but I just don't like what he's doing at this particular moment. But India and the United States have a special relationship. There's nothing to worry about.
Let us peel off these layers and try answer these big questions in this week's edition of Homework. Welcome viewers and stay with me till the end. I'm your host, Aman Sharma. After a long bout of diplomatic acrimony, Donald Trump now says, I will always be friends with Modi. He's a great man. India and the United States have a special relationship. There is nothing to worry about. I don't think we have lost India. But Trump also laces it with criticism when he says, I just don't like what Modi is doing at this particular moment. The reference is to India's continuous purchases of Russian oil. Modi, however, grabbed this opportunity to respond to Trump on social media. I deeply appreciate and fully reciprocate President Trump's sentiments and positive assessment of our ties. These were Mr. Modi's first comments on Trump in recent months. This is also the first exchange of some kind of communication in between both leaders since the 10th June 17th phone call. Mr. Modi now says, India and United States have a very positive and forward-looking, comprehensive and global strategic partnership. So what's next? Will the two leaders take this newfound bonhomie forward with a phone call and a bilateral meeting? Can India really trust Trump as he is infamous for flipping on his praise and condemnation with remarkable consistency? A phone call between both leaders is long overdue. The last one on June 17th did not end on a good note, as Modi insisted that Trump had no role to play in the India-Pakistan ceasefire, while Trump stuck to his claims.
You're going to put tariffs on you that was so high, I don't give a damn, your head's going to spin. You're not going to end up in a war. Within about 5 hours, it was done. It was done. Now, maybe it starts again. I don't know. I don't think so, but I'll stop it.
Trump's offer to Modi to stop by in the US on his way back from Canada was also not accepted by Modi, as India smelt a diplomatic trap with Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir in the White House at the same time. But Trump did accept Modi's invite then to visit India later this year for the Quad Summit. However, there has been radio silence since from the White House on this particular visit. There is a possibility that a phone call between Modi and Trump soon happens over the scheduling of the Quad Summit. This phone call could give a chance to both leaders to speak on other pressing issues too, like the progress of the India-US trade deal that could take away the pain of the tariffs and the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. If a thaw is achieved over the phone call, possibility of a meeting opens up. But PM Modi is not traveling to the US this month for the UN General Assembly meeting. Like since 2022, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar will represent India at the UNGA. Malaysia in October could well be the venue where Trump and Modi finally meet. President Donald Trump plans to attend an October leaders meeting of the ASEAN in Kuala Lumpur on October 26th, according to the Prime Minister of the host nation, Malaysia. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim of Malaysia has said that the US President had accepted his invitation for October 26th, though the White House is still to confirm it. US presidents have attended ASEAN summits, but not always consistently. Joe Biden attended it in Cambodia in 2022, and Trump was last at ASEAN in 2017 in Philippines. Narendra Modi will be going for the ASEAN summit as in earlier years. So is a meeting possible there with Trump? This is the most awaited development now. There is no chance for such a meeting at the G20 summit in Johannesburg in November, as Trump has said he won't travel for the G20 and Vice President J.D. Vance will be representing the US there. And what about the Quad Leaders Summit in India? Well, the June 17 Modi-Trump phone call saw Trump accepting Modi's invite to come to India for the Quad. But a recent New York Times report has said Trump has no longer such plans. India also has no clarity yet. The Foreign Ministry last week said it would not like to comment on speculative media reports on this issue. The Foreign Ministry said India sees the Quad as a valuable forum for discussion among the four member countries on shared interests on several issues. The Leader Summit is scheduled through diplomatic consultations among the member countries, that is among the four countries. The big coup could be if Donald Trump does indeed visit India as promised in November for Quad and a trade deal is signed by both countries during this visit. But are we getting too optimistic with the India and the US bonhomie? Is it more a case of Trump realizing the limits of US bullying over India, especially after the SCO summit where Modi gave his message to Trump with visuals of his long and substantive meetings with Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping? Remember, the US hasn't revoked the 50% tariffs on India and wants a trade deal with India on its own terms, like entry to India's agriculture and dairy sectors. Modi has said this categorically that this won't be allowed by India at any cost.
अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा.
Trump also continues to maintain his ceasefire claims. He nurtures a close relationship with Pakistan as well as Asim Munir, a big irritant for India. So roadblocks and challenges remain in repairing the US-India relationship. Can Trump and Modi be friends again? Well, that's the question making waves in global diplomacy circles. To be sure, Trump has himself to blame for spoiling the relationship with his aides using disparaging language for India.
India quickly transformed itself into basically a Kremlin laundromat for their oil.
India, rather, has been handling the matter in a very mature and pragmatic way. Modi never joined the war of words with Trump over the last 1 month since the 50% tariffs kicked in. The only phrase that Modi used to describe the matter was economic selfishness. Top ministers Nirmala Sitharaman, Piyush Goyal also did not take any pot shots at Trump and said things will soon get better with the US.
I look at this only as one more situation which will pass as there's a deeper understanding of the reality of the situation. And I'm very confident this relationship will only strengthen in the years to come.
This approach has enabled Trump to get an opportunity for an off-ramp. In the theater of geopolitics, friendships are tested, but equations endure. Trump says he gets along very well with Modi. Modi says the partnership is positive and forward-looking. The friendship is stressed, but not broken. With Vladimir Putin set to visit India this December, the next 2 months are crucial for Trump to repair relations with India or risk pushing India even more in the Russian camp. November may well decide whether Trump and Modi's personal chemistry once again becomes the driving force of India-US ties. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Homework on CNN News 18. I will be back next week.